The evening sky over Zealand Market looked calm, but the air was heavy with worry. Ryan, the only human engineer living in that alien city, walked between glowing stalls, looking for small machine parts. He liked the market at sunset. It was noisy, colorful, and full of strange smells. It made him forget he was far from Earth, but today felt different. Ryan kept noticing people whispering, looking over their shoulders, moving fast like they did not want to stay outside for long. He felt the tension but could not understand why. Then it happened. A sharp thud echoed through the market. A crowd gasped. Something or someone had fallen. Ryan turned quickly toward the sound. An alien woman lay on the ground, her body shaking, her skin pale with strange dark marks spreading across her arms. Her eyes were half open but empty. She tried to breathe, but every breath sounded weaker than the last. Beside her stood a tiny alien girl. She was small, not older than 6 or 7 by human guessing. She had lavender skin, big silver eyes, and wore a thin torn dress. In her trembling hands, she held a small glowing toy broken in half. Her voice shook as she whispered, "Human, can you fix my toy?" Mom dropped it when she collapsed. "Please." Ryan froze. The girl did not cry. She looked too shocked to cry. Her little hands pressed the broken toy against her chest like it was the only thing she had left in the world. The crowd around them slowly stepped back. Some aliens turned away. Some whispered, "Sickness. Stay back." No one tried to help. Ryan moved toward the girl and knelt beside her mother. He checked the woman's pulse, weak, fading. Her skin felt cold. The strange marks looked like the result of some alien infection, but he had never seen anything like it. Hey, stay with me," Ryan whispered to the woman, but she could not answer. The girl pulled his sleeve, her eyes shining with fear. "She will wake up if you fix the toy," she said softly. She promised. Ryan looked at the toy. It was not like anything he had seen before. It had a glowing core inside, pulsing with dim light, like a heartbeat slowly dying. The cracks on its surface looked old. Someone had repaired it badly in the past. "Where is your father?" Ryan asked. The girl looked down at her feet. "He went away during the night of fire. He said he will return, but he never did." Ryan understood. She was alone. Completely alone. He lifted the woman slightly to check her breathing again. It was shallower than before. She needed help now, but when he looked around, no one moved. People stood far away, afraid. Some even walked off quickly, pretending they saw nothing. Ryan felt anger rising inside him. He looked at the girl and said gently, "What is your name?" "Leary," she whispered. "Leary, listen to me. Your mom needs help, and I will help her. But I have to take both of you from here. It is not safe." Leary nodded instantly. She did not question him. She held the broken toy tightly as if it was part of her heart. Ryan lifted the alien woman carefully in his arms. She was light, too light, like she had not eaten properly in days. Leary walked close to him, almost touching his leg with every step, afraid to lose him. As they moved through the market, more people stared, but stepped aside. Some looked scared. Some looked guilty. Some looked angry that a human was getting involved. Ryan felt eyes watching them from the rooftops. He looked up for a second, but saw no one. Still, the feeling did not leave him. When they reached the quiet street leading to his small workshop, Leary finally whispered again, "Human, do you think you can fix it?" She held up the broken toy. Ryan looked at her, then at the mother in his arms. "I don't know," he admitted honestly, "but I will try my best." Leary's eyes softened with a small, fragile hope. Mom said, "If the toy stops glowing, something bad will happen." Ryan felt a chill crawl down his spine. The toy's light flickered again, this time, almost completely dying. He stepped faster. Something was not right. Something bigger was behind this. And Ryan did not know that saving one mother and her child would pull him into a danger he'd never imagined. But he kept walking, because the little alien girl whispered again, voice trembling, please, don't let her die. Ryan pushed open the door of his small workshop with his shoulder, still carrying the unconscious alien woman in his arms. The place was dim, full of tools, wires, and unfinished machines. It smelled like metal and warm circuits. This was the only place in the city where he felt safe, and today, he needed that safety more than ever. He carefully placed the woman on an old but clean repair table. Leary immediately climbed onto a stool beside her mother and held her hand tightly. She always tells me not to be afraid, Leary whispered. But today, she cannot say it. Ryan took a slow breath and looked at the little girl. She was shivering, not from cold, but from fear. Her silver eyes watched every movement he made, as if he was the last hope she had. He knelt down to her level. I will help your mom. But first, I need to look at your toy. Maybe it will tell us something. Leary nodded and gently handed him the broken glowing toy. Her hands hesitated for a second, as if letting go of it felt like letting go of her mother's life. Ryan placed the toy under a bright lamp. The moment the light hit it, the toy responded. A tiny pulse of glowing blue flickered inside it, weak but alive. Strange. Ryan murmured. The toy looked simple on the outside, a small sphere with tiny carved patterns. But up close, Ryan noticed something odd. Those patterns were not decorations. They were micro-channels for energy flow. Someone had built this with advanced tech, but then repaired it with cheap street materials, almost like they were hiding its real purpose. Ryan opened his toolbox and picked a thin screwdriver. Leary leaned forward instantly. Be careful, she said softly. If the light dies, she dies too. Her words hit him harder than he expected. Why do you believe that? He asked gently. Leary hugged her knees. Mom said the toy keeps us safe. She said it holds something important from my dad. Something dangerous people want. Her voice became even softer. Dad didn't return because of this toy. Ryan paused. The screwdriver held mid-air. The toy hummed faintly, like it had its own heartbeat. He began opening the outer shell slowly, carefully. As the toy cracked open, a soft blue mist escaped, swirling like tiny glowing dust. Leary gasped, covering her mouth. Inside the toy was an energy core, small, oval, cracked at the edges. It flickered weakly, giving off a fading light. But beneath it, Ryan spotted another layer. A hidden metallic plate, sealed almost perfectly shut. He frowned. Someone didn't want this core to be found, he said. He took a magnifying lens and looked closer. On the metallic layer were tiny encrypted lines like a code. Not just machine code, but memory code. A memory vault. His heart began to race. Leary, Ryan said slowly. This toy isn't just a toy. She blinked. Then, what is it? It's something your father hid, he answered. He wanted only your mother and you to have it. Leary looked down at her feet. Mom always said Dad loved us, even after the night of fire. Ryan leaned closer. What is the night of fire? Leary stayed silent for a few seconds. Then she said, that night, many lights fell from the sky. My father ran outside. He said he had to stop something bad, but he never came back. Ryan felt a cold wave roll through him. This wasn't a random sickness. This wasn't a random toy. This was connected. He turned back to the toy and gently lifted the cracked energy core. Under it, he saw something that made him freeze. A second compartment, smaller, hidden deeper, and sealed with a security pattern, usually used by high-level scientists or government officials. That's impossible, Ryan whispered. Why would a normal family have something like this? Before he could think more, Leary's mother suddenly coughed loud, painful, like her lungs were tearing inside. Leary jumped down from the stool. "Mom! Mom!" Ryan rushed to her side. The marks on her arms had spread further. Her breathing was shallow, almost gone. He checked her pulse weak. Slipping away, then something happened that made the hair on Ryan's arms stand up. The toy reacted. The broken energy core glowed brighter for a moment, as if sensing the mother's condition. Then the small hidden compartment inside the toy gave a soft click, as if unlocking itself slightly. Ryan stared at it. Leary stared at it. The toy was reacting to the mother's life, or her life was linked to the toy. A deep worry grew inside Ryan. There was a mystery here, something dark and hidden. And he knew one thing for sure: someone built this toy to protect the child, but also to hide a truth dangerous enough to kill Dot. And now he had touched it, and someone out there might already know. Ryan stared at the half-open toy on his workbench, feeling a strange weight settle inside his chest. The small glowing core pulsed weakly, like a dying heartbeat. Beneath it, the hidden metallic layer was no longer still. It gave another tiny click, as if something inside wanted to open. Leary stood close to him, clutching her mother's cold hand. "Why is it making that sound?" she whispered. Ryan didn't answer right away. The toy looked harmless on the outside, but the inside held secrets no ordinary child's toy should carry. He gently placed the cracked core aside and leaned closer to examine the sealed layer. He noticed scratches around the edges, marks from someone trying to open it before. Someone wanted to see what was inside, but failed. Ryan grabbed a thin scanning tool and ran it along the metallic surface. A soft blue light flashed. Numbers scrolled on the small screen. "Encrypted," Ryan muttered. "Very old encryption, but strong." Leary tilted her head slightly. "Is that bad?" "It means someone really didn't want this opened," he replied. The workshop lights flickered for a moment, and Ryan felt a familiar chill. The kind that comes right before danger. He ignored it for now and activated a deeper scan. The device hummed softly, reading the hidden data. Suddenly a projection flashed from the toy. Leary gasped, and Ryan nearly dropped the scanner. A small hologram formed above the metallic layer, unstable, blinking, breaking into static every second. In the flickering projection stood an alien man, worn clothes, tired eyes, heavy breathing. His face was bruised and marked with fear. He recorded the message in some dark place, looking over his shoulder again and again. Leary covered her mouth. "Dad!" Ryan froze. This was her father. The man in the hologram spoke with urgency, his voice shaky. "If you are seeing this, I may not return. Someone found out what I discovered. They want to erase everything. They want to silence me." Static cut the message for a moment. Ryan fixed the projection angle and tapped the scanner gently. The message stabilized enough to continue. "This toy. Inside it, I hid the truth. The illegal energy. The poison they used on the workers. They forced my wife to handle those energy cells without protection. She fell sick, and they tried to hide it." Ryan's stomach tightened. So that was why the mother collapsed. Not accident. Not weakness. A crime. The hologram flickered again. "They will come for my family. I must keep them safe. Leary, my star. If you are holding this, I'm sorry. Your mother and you deserve a peaceful life. Not this." Leary's eyes filled with tears, but she made no sound. She hugged her mother's arm as if hoping her touch could wake her. The father looked straight into the hologram recorder, right into Ryan's workshop now. "Whoever finds this, trust no one. Do not hand this to the patrol. Do not go to the council. They are part of it. Protect my family, please." Then the message ended suddenly, the hologram crashing into static before disappearing entirely. Silence filled the workshop. Leary finally spoke, her voice breaking. "When he didn't come back, Mom said he was brave, but she never told me why. Ryan placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. He was trying to save you both. Leary wiped her tears but stayed strong. She had the courage of someone much older. Ryan turned back to the toy. The secret compartment had fully unlocked during the message. Inside, there was a small chip, paper thin, glowing softly. It looked like it carried heavy data. He connected it to his scanner, the screen filled with symbols, warnings, and strange energy diagrams. He recognized some of it dangerous energy patterns, the kind that could poison a person slowly. A type of energy banned across 3 systems. Ryan swallowed hard. This is enough evidence to expose everything, he whispered, before he could think more. A sudden tap echoed against the workshop window. Tap, 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 tap. I jumped and held Ryan's arm tightly. Someone was outside. Ryan slowly walked to the window. He moved just enough to peek through the corner. A dark figure stood there, unmoving, not curious, not confused. Watching, waiting. Then the shadow stepped back slowly and disappeared into the alley. Ryan's heart pounded. Whoever that was, they knew the toy had been opened. He returned to Leary, kneeling down to her level. Leary, listen carefully, he said. Your father hid something big, dangerous, and now others will want it. But I will protect you and your mother. I promise. Leary nodded, trusting him completely. Ryan didn't know how he would keep that promise, but he did know one thing. The moment the hologram played, everything changed. The enemies who hunted Leary's father would soon come for Ryan too, and the toy, the little glowing toy, now held a truth powerful enough to save lives. Or destroy them. Ryan did not sleep that night. He sat at his workbench with the half-repaired toy in front of him, the faint glow from its cracked core mixing with the dim workshop lights. Every few minutes he checked on Leary's mother, who lay unconscious on a spare cot. Her breathing stayed shallow, shaky, like each breath fought against something trying to pull her away. Leary sat beside her mother, refusing to rest. She held the woman's hand gently, sometimes whispering soft words that only a child could believe might help. Ryan watched the little girl and felt something tighten in his chest. She should have been playing, smiling, living a simple life. Instead, she was hiding from shadows that were getting closer. The memory of the dark figure tapping on his window still crawled through Ryan's mind. He couldn't shake the feeling that more eyes were watching, waiting for the right moment to strike. Ryan adjusted the toy again. The hidden compartment, now fully unlocked, held the chip with the father's final message. The chip contained dangerous evidence, but it also held coordinates. Ryan didn't understand yet. He tapped the screen lightly. A new warning popped up. Access triggered. Outside signal DTT. To Ryan's heart dropped. Leary, he whispered. We might have a problem. The little girl looked up, her eyes wide. Another problem? He forced a smile. Just something I need to check. Ryan walked to the front door and pressed a silent switch. A small camera feed appeared on a tiny wall screen. The alley outside his workshop was dark, but not empty. 2 shadows stood at the far end, tall, armored, and moving with slow, deliberate steps. Ryan whispered to himself. Patrol agents. Not the regular kind. These had no lights, no symbols, no official colors. They were the ones her father warned about, the corrupt division rumored to erase whistleblowers. Ryan quickly shut off the screen and returned to Leary. She hugged her mother tighter. Are they here? Ryan crouched beside her. Yes, but they haven't found a way in. They're watching first. Why? Leary asked. Because they're afraid of what we know. She looked down at the toy, understanding more than any child should. There was no more time to waste. Ryan went to the back of the workshop and pulled out a small crate. Inside were emergency tools, portable shields, and old Earth-made devices he kept for worst-case situations. He never thought he would actually need them. While he worked, Leary suddenly whispered, "Ryan." He turned quickly. She was pointing toward the window. The tapping sound. Return.tap. Tap.slow. Intentional. Like a warning, Ryan switched the lights off instantly. The workshop fell into darkness, except for the faint glow of the toy. He approached the window quietly. Leary stayed behind him, holding her breath. Ryan peeked through a narrow crack. A tall alien stood inches from the glass. His face was hidden under a dark visor. He moved his head slowly, scanning the inside like he could smell the fear. Then the alien whispered through the glass, his voice muffled but clear. "Human. Hand over the child." Ryan's blood turned cold. The alien continued, "Give us the evidence. Give us the toy. Do this, and we leave you alive." Ryan didn't move. He didn't breathe. The visor tilted slightly, sensing hesitation. Leary grabbed Ryan's shirt from behind, trembling. "Don't open the door," she whispered, terrified. Ryan didn't plan to. He stepped away, his heart pounding. He whispered back, "They won't get in. They don't know the back exit." But even as he said it, his mind raced. They would eventually break in. He had to think fast. Ryan went to an old metal locker and opened it. Inside was a small hover cart, a device used to transport heavy items. He had modified it long ago, adding a hidden storage compartment and a quick boost engine. "Leary," he called softly. "Come here." She walked slowly toward him, still holding the toy. Ryan knelt. "We are leaving. Through the old tunnel behind the workshop. It leads to the abandoned transport station. No one knows about it. What about Mom?" Leary asked immediately. "We take her. I won't leave her." Leary nodded hard, tears forming but not falling. Ryan lifted the unconscious mother carefully into the hover cart. Leary placed the glowing toy beside her, as if keeping it close might keep her mother alive. Then the lights in the workshop flickered again. This time violently. The door shook. A loud metallic voice shouted from outside, "Open the door." Ryan activated the hover cart's engine. "We're out of time." He grabbed Leary's hand. The door shook. Harder. Cracked. A piece of metal dented inward. "Leary." Gasped. Ryan pulled her toward the back exit. "You're safe with me," he whispered. The door behind them exploded open just as Ryan pushed Leary into the hidden tunnel. The last thing he heard before sliding the door shut was the armored alien shouting, "Find the child. The toy must not leave this building." But Ryan had already made up his mind. He would protect Leary. He would save her mother. And he would uncover the truth her father died to protect, even if it meant becoming the enemy of an entire alien system. The hidden tunnel behind Ryan's workshop was narrow and dusty, lit only by a few old emergency lights that flickered as if struggling to stay alive. Ryan pushed the hover cart ahead of him, its small engine humming softly. Leary walked beside it, her hand never leaving her mother's arm. The broken glowing toy rested near the woman's chest, its light pulsing weakly in the darkness. Leary kept whispering, "Hold on, Mom. Hold on." As if her tiny voice could keep her mother alive, Ryan checked behind them every few seconds. He expected to hear armored footsteps rushing into the tunnel, expected the shadows to move, expected danger to appear at any moment. But the tunnel stayed silent, too silent. "Are they following us?" Leary whispered. "Not yet," Ryan answered softly. "But they will soon. We have to keep moving." He kept pushing the hover cart until the tunnel opened into a wider abandoned corridor, once part of the city's old transport system. Rusted rails lined the ground, and broken screens flickered with dead messages. Dust hung in the air like forgotten memories. Leary stared around. "This place. It feels sad." Ryan nodded. "No one has been here for years. That's why it's safe. But safe didn't last long. As they turned a corner, the toy suddenly beeped, a sharp, alert sound. Ryan stopped immediately. That's new. Leary lifted the toy, her hands shaking. Why did it do that? Ryan examined it quickly. The cracked energy core glowed brighter for a moment, and the small chip hidden inside gave off a faint red flash. The toy is reacting to something in this tunnel, Ryan whispered. Or someone. Before Leary could ask more, the toy's projection flickered again, just like before. But clearer this time, a hologram formed above the toy. Leary gasped. It was her father again. But this time, he wasn't whispering in fear. He looked desperate, sweating, speaking fast as if time itself was chasing him. The hologram's voice echoed through the empty corridor. If you reach this part, then they are after you. Leary clutched Ryan's arm tightly. Her father continued. I recorded this final message before I disappeared. There is something I did not explain earlier. Something important. The image shook, then stabilized. Behind him, explosions flashed, bright lights, alarms, smoke. He coughed hard before speaking again. The toy you hold is not just a memory vault. It is also a key. A key to a larger file hidden in the government data center. A file that proves everything. The toxic energy. The illegal labor. The deaths they covered up. Ryan's heart sank. This was far bigger than he imagined. The father leaned closer in the hologram, his voice trembling with urgency. They forced my wife to handle leaking energy cells. They told her it was safe. They lied. Leary's eyes widened with pain. Ryan slowly whispered, That's why she's sick. The hologram continued. I tried to save her. I begged for help. But they silenced me. They tried to erase everything. I ran. I hid. I built the encryption inside Leary's toy. It was the only place they wouldn't search. Static flickered briefly, then the father's voice returned, louder. If you are watching this, please protect my daughter. She is innocent. She is everything. The hologram shook violently as another explosion lit the background. And to the human who finds this, I'm sorry. You will be in danger now too. But you are her only hope. The father looked directly forward, eyes filled with fear and love. Trust no one. Not the council. Not the patrol. Only follow the coordinates inside the toy. They lead to the truth. Then his voice became softer, breaking. Leary, my star. I love you. The hologram collapsed into static and vanished completely. The corridor fell silent again, painful, heavy silence. Leary wiped her tears with her small hand. He loved us. He really did. Ryan placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. Yes, Leary, he did everything he could to protect you. But inside his chest, worry took root. The coordinates her father mentioned. They weren't simple. They led directly toward the restricted government district, the most dangerous place in the city. Ryan took a deep breath. We need to reach those coordinates. It's the only way to save your mother. He reached for the toy again, but it let out another sharp beep. Suddenly the ground shook. Distant thunderous sound echoed down the tunnel, heavy footsteps. Metal clanking, electric charges powering up. Ryan's face hardened. They found us. The patrol was coming. Fast. I grabbed her mother's hand. Trying not to cry. Ryan? Please don't let them take us. Ryan tightened his grip on the hover cart. I won't, he whispered fiercely. Your father trusted me. I won't fail him. Or you. The footsteps grew louder. The chase was about to begin, and the truth hidden inside the toy was the only chance they had left. The tunnel trembled again, louder this time. Dust fell from the ceiling like drifting sand. Ryan felt the vibration through his boots, heavy, synchronized footsteps moving fast. Not one person. A squad. The corrupt patrol had found the hidden passage. Ryan pushed the hover cart forward, the small engine whining under the weight of Leary's unconscious mother. "Stay close to me," he whispered to Leary. But Leary was already holding onto his arm, her tiny fingers shaking. "Ryan, they're coming." "I know," he said quietly, "but they're not taking you." He sped up, boots scraping against the old transport rails. The tunnel grew wider ahead, opening toward the abandoned station. But the open space also meant danger. If the patrol reached that point first, they could block every exit. Behind them, a voice echoed through the tunnel, amplified by a helmet. "Human. Stop right now. You cannot escape." Leary froze. "They know you're a human." Ryan kept pushing. "That's why we can't stop." Another voice followed, colder, cooler. "The child belongs to us. Hand her over, and we will make your end painless." Leary's breath broke. She held the glowing toy so tight her knuckles turned pale lavender. Ryan turned his head slightly. "Don't listen to them. Hold on to your mom. Don't let go." The rail tunnel ahead opened into a massive underground hall, the abandoned transport station. Broken platforms, rusted hover tracks, old signs half hanging from the ceiling. Faint emergency lights flickered like dying fireflies. In the center of the station stood a forgotten commuter shuttle, old, dented, but still powered by an emergency coil. Ryan had repaired it years ago, thinking he might one day use it for scrap. Today, he needed it to escape. He rushed toward it. "Leary, climb inside, quick." Leary nodded, climbing into the hover cart and hugging her mother protectively. Ryan slammed his hand against the shuttle's side panel. Sparks flew. The door opened halfway, groaning loudly. He pulled it the rest of the way open and pushed the hover cart inside. Behind them, the sound of metal boots hit the floor of the station. They were close now. Ryan jumped into the shuttle and hit the ignition. The engine sputtered like an old coughing animal. "Come on. Come on," Ryan muttered. The engine glowed faint orange. Then boom! A stun blast hit the side of the shuttle. Leary screamed and covered her head. Ryan shielded her with his arm. Voices echoed, "Stop the human. Don't damage the toy." Ryan peeked outside. 5 armored patrol agents entered the station, electric rifles glowing blue. Their visors scanned the area. Beams of light cutting through the dust. Ryan slammed the door shut and finally heard the engine catch. The shuttle rose slightly off the rails, hovering. Leary whispered, "Ryan, we're moving. Hold on tight." He slammed the throttle. The shuttle shot forward, gliding along the rails. The patrol agents reacted immediately. "Stop them." "Fire!" Blue electric blasts flew through the air, hitting the walls, the rails, the ceiling. Sparks exploded all around them. Ryan ducked and covered Leary with his body as the shuttle raced through the station. But the agents didn't slow down. They ran after the shuttle. Rifles charging again. The shuttle turned sharply into a different tunnel, one Ryan barely remembered. He hoped it led somewhere safe. Somewhere far away. The patrol voices echoed behind them. "Block the next tunnel. Send drones. The child is the priority." The shuttle shook violently as it hit a broken section of rail. Leary almost fell, but Ryan grabbed her shoulder. "You okay?" She nodded quickly, even though tears streamed down her face. "Please don't let them take me." Ryan looked at her and spoke with deep conviction. "I won't, not while I'm alive." The shuttle entered a darker tunnel where the lights were completely dead. Only the toy's weak blue glow lit the inside of the shuttle. But then, the toy flashed bright. The projection activated by itself. A map appeared mid-air. The coordinates. Ryan stared at it. "It's showing the route." The map revealed a hidden maintenance tunnel ahead, one that bypassed the normal tracks. But at the same moment, the shuttle's sensors beeped loudly. Multiple dots behind them. Drones. Fast drones. The patrol had launched flying hunters. The engine screamed as Ryan pushed the shuttle harder. Leary held her mother and closed her eyes, whispering a small prayer in her alien tongue. Then the first drone fired. A burning white blast shot past the shuttle, exploding against the wall and lighting the tunnel in a burst of fire. Ryan gritted his teeth. "Hold on, Leary, I'm not letting them win." He turned the shuttle sharply, heading toward the hidden passage. The drones chased like angry metallic predators, but Ryan had something they didn't: the father's map, truth, and the strength to fight for a child who trusted him more than anyone. The chase was far from over. But for the first time, Ryan felt hope. The shuttle roared through the darkness, every metal panel trembling from stress. Ryan held the controls tight, guiding the vehicle through the hidden route shown by the toy's holographic map. Behind them, the drone's engines screamed like angry insects, their lights flashing through the tunnel like chasing stars. "Ryan," Leary whispered, trying to stay brave, "can we escape?" Ryan didn't look back. "We can. We just need a little more time." The toy glowed again, brighter than before. The light washed over Leary's mother, a soft, warm blue. Her breathing, which had been shallow and broken, became slightly stronger. Leary gasped. "Mom, she moved." Ryan turned just enough to see the woman's fingers twitch. "The toy is reacting to her," Ryan said. "It's protecting her, but it's also reaching its limit." The projection flickered again above the toy. This time not a message from the father, but something new: a countdown, a power overload. If the toy's core cracked under pressure, the memory vault would destroy itself. And with it, the only evidence against the corrupt council and their secret patrol. "Ryan, the toy is going to break?" Leary asked, hugging it closer. "Yes," he said honestly, "unless we finish the repair. We need to complete the core." "But we're still running." She cried. "I know." Another explosion ripped through the tunnel as a drone fired again. The shockwave hit the shuttle so hard it almost flipped. Leary screamed and shielded her mother. Ryan forced the shuttle back on course. Ahead, the hidden map showed a symbol: an exit door leading to the old sky bridge of the government district. "Hold tight." Ryan pushed the throttle to maximum. The shuttle blasted forward. A drone came too close and smashed into a support pillar, erupting in a metallic bloom. Only 3 drones remained. They reached the metal exit door. Ryan rammed the shuttle into it. Crash! Metal tore apart. Sparks flew everywhere. The shuttle burst onto the high sky bridge overlooking the city. Alarms blared. Cold wind rushed inside through the broken door, but the danger only grew. The corrupt patrol had already reached the bridge from the opposite side. Several armored agents blocked the path, weapons aimed at the shuttle. "Stop! Hand over the child!" Ryan's heart pounded. They were trapped. Leary squeezed her mother's hand, tears shining in her silver eyes. "What do we do now?" Ryan looked at the glowing toy. Only one option was left. He knelt before Leary. "Give me the toy." She hesitated, then trusted him and placed it softly in his hands. Ryan pulled out his repair tools. His hands shook, but not from fear, from determination. He opened the cracked core and began to reconnect the glowing threads inside. The toy pulsed wildly with unstable energy. Sparks jumped onto Ryan's fingers, burning him, but he kept working. "Ryan, are you okay?" Leary cried. "I'm fine," he said through clenched teeth. "I just need 10 more seconds." The patrol agents marched closer. "Human, surrender now. That device belongs to us." Ryan ignored them. He twisted the final wire. The toy exploded with light. A massive hologram shot into the sky, bright, huge, undeniable. People across the city stopped and looked up. The hologram projected everything: the father's messages, the hidden evidence of the toxic energy, the illegal experiments, the council orders to silence workers, the patrol's crimes, the truth of Leary's mother's sickness. Citizens screamed. News drones activated automatically. Alarms changed tone, no longer warning of escape, but of exposed corruption. Ryan shouted toward the patrol. "It's over. Everyone can see the truth now." The agents froze, because above them, the city's sky glowed with undeniable proof. Suddenly, another group arrived, official city guards, the true lawful ones. They saw the hologram. They saw the corrupt patrol, and they raised their weapons. "Arrest every corrupt officer." The commander shouted. Chaos erupted. The corrupt patrol tried to fight back, but they were outnumbered and overwhelmed. The city guards tackled them, pulling off their helmets and locking them in energy cuffs. Leary watched with wide eyes, holding her mother gently, when the last corrupt officer fell. The toy dimmed and floated softly back into Leary's hands. Ryan turned to her. "Your father. He saved everyone today." Leary wiped her tears. "You did too." Two medics rushed toward them and checked her mother. "She's weak," one medic said, "but she lives now. She will recover. The poison will fade." Leary threw her arms around Ryan, crying into his chest. "Thank you. Thank you. For saving us, for believing us." Ryan hugged her back carefully. "You're safe now, Leary. No one will hurt you again." Her mother slowly opened her eyes, whispering weakly, "Leary." "Ryan, thank you." The sun began to rise behind the city skyscrapers, painting the sky gold. And the giant hologram faded slowly, its mission complete. The truth had won. A small toy had saved a world. A brave father had left a message that could not be erased. And a human had protected a child who trusted him with her whole heart. In the quiet morning air, Leary held Ryan's hand and whispered, "Dad said to trust no one. But I'm glad I trusted you." Ryan smiled softly. "Humans always help those who need them."